to No Brainer MMA. What is going on, Dan?
Not much, not much. I'm throwing up one hand, the other hand still bandaged. Just keeping it bandaged for another day or two, and then we should be good from the dog fight.
Those dogs, man.
Those dogs.
We're gonna get into some dogs. We're gonna start off UFC Vegas.
I got a dog pretty early.
Yeah, I think I do too, actually. Yeah, UFC Vegas 30. We're gonna start right off. Mana Martinez versus Guido Canetti. Mana Martinez was supposed to fight Trevin Jones last week, and then something happened. I don't know why he had to pull out.
He was scared of the right hook.
I get it, but Trevin Jones ended up losing. But he fought that guy was good that he fought.
Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I only watched the prelims and I fell asleep to it. I wasn't around all day. I was at the wake. I was out of wake, and it was a really tough day. But watching the fights helped me get my mind off the whole crazy day and everything.
Yeah, that was good. They were good too. It was a really good card overall. But let's kick off this one. Mana Martinez, Guido Canetti. Guido Canetti 2-3 in his last 5. Counting tough fights, he has an 8-7 pro record. He doesn't fight very often, just once in 2020, 3 times since 2018. 3 times in 2018. So he takes like the 2-year break off. He's been finished 3 times in his last 4 fights, twice by sub, not to mention he's 41 years old now. He's going to be taking on Mana Martinez, who lost his UFC debut to Draco Rodriguez. 8 out of his 8 wins have come by KO, 5 in the first round.
Contender series, though.
Okay. Not a UFC debut, contender series fight.
This is his debut.
He's only gone to decision once in a split decision loss. But Mana Martinez, like I said, had his hands full last week with Trevin Jones. This is a far better matchup for him. I see Mana Martinez getting the knockout in this one.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you. This guy's got ridiculous punching power. Yeah, they're fighting at 135 for a 135er to have this much power. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, he's no joke.
Yeah, he lost his contender series fight. He was fighting in Fury fighting championships for a while. He lost via triangle choke to Draco Rodriguez in a little scramble that they had. I mean, his grappling wherewithal probably isn't the greatest, but he definitely is improving because his striking is good and he knocks people the fuck out. And I like a knockout win to start off the night too. I just see it going. It's pretty decisively. Mana Martinez has got this. The odds are reflectory of this too. It's -300, -325. Those are the odds I'm seeing. So.
Oh, dude, that's ridiculous.
Martinez, throw him like. If you want to throw some money, do by knockout, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that.
Yeah, or like parlay that and the under. Or like parlay that with like a lock that's like odds are a little bit better, you know?
Yeah, actually the next one's odds are a little bit better. And I think we're both going to agree on the next one too. This one, we're both going Mana Martinez. We're going to move right into the next. Pat Sabatini versus Jamal Emmers.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, we got these guys are actually both like well-rounded mixed martial artists, I believe.
Oh, this is a great fight.
Yeah, this is a great fight. Jamal Emmers is really truly a mixed martial artist. He's a good wrestler. You know, he's had 5 in his last fight. What, he had 5 takedowns or something like that?
Something crazy.
Striking is really solid as well. He's really crisp in his strikes. His punches are good. His kicks are great. He can really fight anywhere. Nasty clinch strikes. He was able to get a tie plum in one of his last fights as well. And then you got Pat Sabatini, who is more of the wrestler of the two. He's probably going to be looking to take this fight down because I think he's a lot slower in compared to Emmers. I think there's a significant speed advantage on Jamal Emmers' side. So Pat Sabatini is going to have to either be crafty on the feet to win the fight, or he's going to have to take it to the ground. I think he's going to go with the latter of the two options. He's going to try to take the fight to the ground. He's definitely slow. Like I said, he's definitely slower in striking, but he's got good grappling. Always threatening with the takedown, which can help in his striking ability and can make up for his speed disadvantage. But he does have good top control and submissions as well, so you got to be aware of that. But overall, I'm gonna take the sharpness and speed that Emmers has, and I'm gonna take him in this fight. I'm looking at both of them, height and weight wise. So this is a featherweight fight. So fighting on 145. Pat Sabatini is 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. Solid, pretty solid frame for the division, especially being a wrestler. Yeah, 5'8". If I said 5'7", my bad. And then you got Jamal Emmers, who's lankier, 5'10", 74-inch reach. So he's got a 4-inch reach and 2-inch height advantage. I think he's gonna use that reach and just kind of pick him,
Yeah.
Gonna out sharp him, and he's just got to use his takedown defense and not get taken down, because if the fight stays standing, it's his fight to lose.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna totally agree with you. Jamal Emmers 4-1 his last 5. He's a win over Corey Sandhagen back in 2017. But he's 1-2 in the UFC. The 2 losses, 2 very close fights against Julian Erosa on the Contender Series, and then Giga in a split decision loss in his UFC debut. So
head kicked into oblivion by Julian Erosa.
Yeah, but he's good, Julian Erosa.
Shin hits your face.
Yeah. But in that Giga fight, that fight could have gone either way. That was a close fight. He averages 5.7 strikes at 52% accuracy, 2.9 takedowns at 53% accuracy. Hasn't been taken down yet under the UFC umbrella. He's taken on Pat Sabatini, 4-1 his last 5, 1-0 in the UFC. Won his UFC debut in his last time out against Tristan Conley. 11 of his 14 wins have been by finish, 10 by sub. He's a BJJ black belt at Renzo Gracie Philly. But overall, I think Emmers definitely has the advantage on the feet. And he's got solid wrestling, too, to go along with it.
Yeah, he can scramble well.
Yeah, and a lot of high-level experience already. He does have to watch out for those subs. But Emmers has only been subbed 1 time in over 23 fights, and that was in 2015.
He'll be okay with the subs.
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
Subs of his own. That Giga fight, though, was a razor close fight. A lot of people had Emmers winning that fight, too.
Yeah. Very close.
Keep in mind, Giga's headlining this card, so
yeah,
Emmers has fought him to a split decision, and it was a little bit more than a year ago. So,
and the odds are pretty great. A -140 in favor of Jamal Emmers. I really like that.
I love that too.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna be staying away from the first one, but definitely I like this one. We're both gonna go Jamal Emmers. We're gonna move right into the next one.
Too. Fuck it.
The next one is you, right? JJ Ulrich versus Vanessa Demopoulos.
Yeah, JJ Aldrich. We remember her from her Ultimate Fighter tenure. She's a decent fighter. I mean, she's a solid striker, but she is a little bit undersized. And what I really like about this fight for Demopoulos is, I know she doesn't have the greatest record at 6-3. She lost a fight to Lupe Godinez and Corey McKenna, who are both UFC fighters right now. She bounced back in an LFA fight where she finished the fight in the 3rd round via punches. And now she is making her UFC debut after a Contender Series loss back in August of last year. So now she's making her UFC debut against JJ Aldrich. I kind of like her in this fight. Considering the odds and where she's at, she's got a solid shot of pulling out the UD. So I'm gonna ride with Demopoulos in this fight. I really like the odds, and I think that the chances of her winning are way bigger than they're giving her, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. She is only 5'2", but then again, JJ Aldrich is very short too. She's actually not that short. She's 5'5". So Demopoulos is going to be, she's 6'2", 5'2" with a 62-inch reach, and JJ Aldrich has a 67-inch reach. So you could very well see JJ Aldrich picking her apart from the outside with that 5.5-inch reach advantage. But we'll see as fight day comes. I like Demopoulos. She can close. I'm like, if she can close the distance, maybe drag the fight down. That's shown to be a hole in JJ Aldrich's game. So That's what I could see that happening. So I'm gonna take Demopoulos in this fight. I know she's a pretty sizable underdog, but I gotta take one of these dogs.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. JJ Aldrich, 3-2 in her last five. She was like a pretty one-sided fighter for most of her career, striker basically. But she did get 4 takedowns in her last time out of nowhere. Like no one saw that one coming. So I believe that she is expanding her game, which is a good sign. She's going to be taking on Vanessa Demopoulos, 3-2 in her last five as well. She has a 6-3 pro record, like Dan said, but has fought pretty good competition in Cheyenne Buys, Sam Hughes, Caitlin Chikagian, Lupi Godinez. She is moving up in weight to 125 and is taking this fight on short notice for an injured Tracy Cortez. Also being at a 5.5 inch reach disadvantage. I'm gonna go with the UFC vet in this one in JJ Aldrich, but
Like I wouldn't have anybody. I wouldn't have any quarrels with somebody. Take
yeah,
going the other.
oh,
Right.
awesome. So we're gonna disagree on this one. Dan's gonna go Demopoulos. I'm gonna go Aldrich. We're gonna move right into the next one. Dustin Jacoby versus Darren Stewart. Dustin Jacoby, 4-0-1 in his last five, coming off a draw against Ian Kutalaba. He's a kickboxer. He's got 9 wins by KO TKO. He averages 4 strikes per minute at 48% accuracy and was taken down 9 times in his last time out. And that seems to be the weakest part of his game or the sketchiest thing about him. Especially
got back up. When you get taken down that many times, that means you got back up a bunch of times.
yeah,
so
he is for sure. And that's why, yeah, that fight was. I think he might have like slightly edged out Kutalaba in that fight, but that was wild. I think we were split on that too, so that was crazy.
Yeah, split draw.
And like I was saying, he was taken down 9 times in his last time out, and he's going to be taking on Darren Stewart in this fight. So Stewart 1-3, 1-0 contest in his last 5, counting 1 Cage Warriors fight he randomly has in the middle of there.
I mean, Cage Warriors is part of the UFC umbrella.
Yeah, it was just so bizarre to see it. It was just like,
yeah, it was weird. And who did he fight there? Somebody like random.
I think it was someone. Bartosz Fabinski. Oh, Mearshard's bitch. He slowed pretty bad. I'm talking about Stewart. He slowed pretty bad in his last time out against Eric Anders, but did have a pretty close split decision loss to Kevin Holland in 2020 as well. So I don't know which Darren Stewart we're gonna get here, but I'm gonna go with Jacoby in this one. He really gets better as the fight goes on. He's got great cardio. I think Stewart might take the first round and then slow down, and Jacoby will just take over.
Yeah, I'm giving a big striking advantage to Jacoby in this fight.
For sure.
In that first fight against Eric Anders, the fight could have been called before that illegal knee happened. So that rematch didn't necessarily need to happen because Stewart kind of looked done. But who knows what would have happened as the fight wore on. But either way, I like Jacoby in this fight. He hits very hard. He's a great, he's got that boxing background. And what is he fighting at? 185?
Yep.
Oh, no, he's a light.
Oh, no, 205. I'm sorry.
205?
Yep.
Yeah, like he's at 185 and he comes from a kickboxing background. He's a champion. I mean, he definitely needs to get some more of his shit together, but this guy is for real. He finishes people. He finished people in kickboxing, boxing, and in MMA. So I could see it. I see a knockout coming in this fight. I got Jacoby via KO over Darren Stewart.
Oh, dude, I like that a lot. And at a minus 190, I like that. I like that too, honestly. This one in the Emers fight, I'm going to be betting on both of those for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we're agreeing on this one. We're both going to go Dustin Jacoby. Go ahead and move right into the next one. Sam Alvey versus Willington Turman.
That's you, brother.
Yeah, all right, cool. Willington Turman, 2-3 in his last 5, 1-3 in the UFC. He's a BJJ black belt. 11 of his 16 wins have been by finish, 7 by sub. Only 25 years old. And the level of competition that he's faced in the UFC so far is pretty tough. He had a pretty tough resume. He averages 2.3 takedowns with 100% takedown defense, a minus 1.3 striking differential at 42% accuracy. He's been KO'd in the first round in his last 2 fights.
I feel like every time I see this guy fight, he gets knocked out.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I know. And he's gonna be taking on UFC veteran and legend Smiling Sam Alvey, 0-4-1 in his last 5.
Yeah, I hope that legend was sarcastic. I
Yeah,
love Alvey, but he ain't no legend.
he's such a legend. For at least for the red-haired community. I think that the biggest problem with Alvey is that he
And Herman and Chris Lieben.
yeah, facts. And Chris, I forgot about him, dude. He's got red. Yeah, he's got like he's a cheater though. He's got that dyed red hair. What was I saying? I don't think the problem with Alvey is that he doesn't have it anymore, but people just found out a way to like counter his game. You know, he's got a lot of tape. He's been around a long time. He's a young guy, still 35 years old. Because every fight with Sam Alvey, he just backs up to the cage, counter punches you.
He's always in the back. He's always got his back to the cage and he's counter punching.
And he's looking for a KO.
Close, but at the same time, he's losing octagon control because he just gives that away.
Exactly. He has to be looking for the KO the whole time. And it's fun to watch, but you know, you're not going to win every time doing that.
Yeah.
And Turman, who's coming off 2 back-to-back first round KOs, KO losses, Smiling Sam just might find a KO here. 2 out of 3 of Sam's 2020 fights were insanely close fights against really solid competition in Dao Jung and Ryan Spann. Whereas Turman's getting KO'd in back-to-back fights against guys nowhere near the top 20. So I'm going to go with Smiling Sam in this one. I know he's a big underdog, but there is a path to victory for him there. He's actually not even that big of an underdog. He's a plus 130. So that's like...
He's not. This fight actually is pretty close. Sam Alvey, I feel like he's 40 years old, but he's not.
He's a young dude.
He has 50 pro fights under his record.
Oh my gosh.
Record. And that means a lot of, and with those losses, he's 33 or he's got 49 fights. This will be his 50th. He's 33-15-1. He's taken a lot of punishment throughout his career. He is coming off an enormous losing streak as well. He did have that draw against Da Jung. But I think that was more from Da Jung not doing enough to get the win. But Sam Alvey did do a good job in that fight with
Ryan Spann.
With the way he.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something about the Ryan Spann fight because that fight was even closer. I feel like that fight was close.
Both of those fights were really close. Like Sam did the same thing he always does, fucking backs against the cage and looks for those counters, and then by the end of the night, he outlanded you, you know? But I think this is time for Willington Turman to actually, like, show up. I've been waiting for this guy's, like, arrival, in a way, for years now. He came into the UFC in 2019, and he lost a pretty close split decision to Carl Roberson, and then beat Marcus Perez, so it looked like he was on the upswing. But 2 knockout losses to Andrew Sanchez, who isn't known for his striking, and Bruno Silva.
Bruno Silva's UFC debut.
Yeah, not the other Bruno Silva.
Not the 135er. Or the flyweight. The flyweight.
Not the one with Cejudo.
Right.
That's Cejudo's training partner. But yeah, I think that Turman turns it around this fight. I just see him being able to get it done. It's like, let's see you start living up to your potential a little bit, you know? He came into the UFC with a lot of hype. Let's see that BJJ in action.
Yeah, dude, you never know. This fight is close and the odds are showing it.
He does get subbed a lot. Like, I could see it happening.
Yeah. We're going to disagree on this one. I'm going Sam Alvey. Dan's going Willington Turman, and we're going to move right into the next one. Abdul Razak Alasan versus Alessio Di Chirico.
Okay, yeah, so I'll take this one. I hate to say it, but ever since one of us, I think, has said it, but ever since that rape accusation / charge that he had, it seems like Abdul Razak Al Hassan has been in his head too much.
Oh, dude, of course, yeah.
He was dismissed, and he was found innocent, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's true.
So I don't even like using that word. It's it's super fucked up, and it's it sucks that he was innocent, found innocent at least and had to deal with that, because that's a big blow to your character no matter what. People are just gonna associate you with that.
Of course.
But on the other hand, he hasn't looked the same. He has that 3 straight losses to Muir, the sniper Lazez. He got knocked out by Chaos Williams, and then he looked terrible against Jacob Malkoon, where he get just taken down at will, like
at will. Yep.
Then we got Alessio De Chirico on the other hand, who came off a pretty shocking knockout of his own over Joaquin Buckley. I didn't see that coming, you know.
No.
He was definitely like outlanding him before that happened. He can get knocked down. So like honestly, I did have Chirico at first. But I'm kind of thinking Abdul might finally break out of his head and get that knockout. But like then again, he throws those looping punches, and it's not like he's throwing, you know, he doesn't throw like straight, compact, tight punches, which I like to see in a fighter. He's like looping punches all over the place. Fuck, man, this fight just got a lot harder. I made it harder on myself.
You did.
But I'm gonna take Abdul. I see it. I see him finally breaking back with a knockout. I keep saying, I said this in his last fight. I'll say it again. He's gonna get it done.
All right.
Finally, he is a corner dog that needs this, so he will get it done.
Yeah, dude, I really hope so because I like him. But Abdul Razak Al-Hassan riding that 3-fight losing streak and hasn't, you know, had a win or looked good since that 2-year hiatus that he had. De Chirico just broke a 3-fight losing streak, but the one difference being De Chirico's last 3 fights or 4 fights, the 3 losses I'm talking about, were closely fought. Al-Hassan's were pretty one-sided losses. Al-Hassan also just recently moved up to middleweight, and I don't really think that's his true weight class. It's a shame because I really do like the dude. And he had such good promise. Like,
fight is at middleweight.
Yeah.
Tough call taking Abdul Razak Al-Hassan.
Yeah. But like I was saying, it's just a real shame because the guy had so much promise. Just a couple years.
I don't like that pick anymore.
But
I don't like it.
Not done yet. Both guys win mostly by KO TKO, but De Chirico has the better ground game, I feel like. He's more well-rounded. He's got a hell of a chin, too. And the cardio to go along with it. I'm going De Chirico in this one.
I mean, yeah, I'm already kind of regretting my pick because I kind of like changed it on the fly. Just because I want to, maybe a little bit of it was because I wanted to see Abdul Razak Al-Hassan get that win, but he does have that devastating power that can come out at any minute. So we'll see. I'll ride with him in this fight, but this seems like it's his last chance in the UFC, and it's his last chance for me taking him in a fight. I am definitely not betting it though. So
word. So we're disagreeing on this one. Dan is very sketchily taking Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, and I'm taking Alessio De Chirico.
De Chirico should win.
Yeah, we're gonna move right into the next one. Gerald Muir versus Machmed Muradov. It's all you, Dan.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I'll start off with Gerald Muir GM3.
Fearless. The guy is fearless.
Yeah, he is. He had that nice choke in his win over Bartosz Fabiński. That was a fucking sick guillotine choke that he had. Like, that was pretty fucking crazy. He's more of a subspecialist, you know. He's nothing special on the feet. Like if you look at his wins in the UFC, I think they're all subs. He has one body kick TKO. Yeah, the rest are all subs.
I think he also is a black belt in kickboxing, but like you don't really see too much of it in his game.
Don't see too much of that.
Yeah.
One guy who's striking I really do like is Machmed Muradov. He knocked out Andrew Sanchez in his last outing at UFC 257 on my birthday. January 23rd. Knocked out Trevor Smith. Has a win over Alessio Di Chirico. This guy is a fucking machine / killer, and I really like him for the future. I think that he has top 5 to top 10 potential in him. So I think very highly of him. Muir, I'm sorry to say you're kind of like a stepping stone for a lot of these guys.
Come on.
And they're using him again. The UFC does not treat Gerald Muir very nicely.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Throwing it like, let's look at his last couple fights, shall we?
Yeah, let's
He fought Bartosz Fabinski. That was a fight that he could have won. Khamzat Chimaev. They're like, let's see how he does against this fucking insane prospect we have that gets knocked out in 17 seconds. Ian Heinisch, stud. Fucking got knocked out in a minute in that fight. He beat Duran Win in a fight. That's like his level. Also split decision to Eric Anders back when Eric Anders was kind of like a commodity.
That's deep.
Lost to Jack Hermanson. He actually got subbed by Jack Hermanson.
Yeah. He beat Trevin Giles.
Yeah, he subbed Trevin Giles in the third, but Trevin Giles does, what's it called? He does gas out.
He's a big dummy too.
But either way, I'm taking Machmed Muradov in this fight. When was I'm going back to see when was last time the last time he lost was in 2016 due to a doctor stoppage.
Yeah.
And before that it was in 2014. This guy likes punching people in the face.
Yeah, he's on a 14 fight winning streak.
Yeah, and throwing crazy flying knees. I see him getting a unanimous decision or a knockout win. With Mearshard's questionable chin, I see it being I see it being 60-40 on being a knockout, 65-35, something like that, But Mearshard could make it the whole 3 rounds. But Muradov doesn't slow down. His gas tank is fine. He should do absolutely fine in this fight.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally agreeing with you on this one.
I know you love Gerald Mearshart.
I know. I was just gonna say Gerald Mearshart. He is fucking fearless. I'm not exaggerating. The guys that has he ever said no to a fight? Like, yeah, we're gonna give you Hasby. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take that. Like, he's not thinking about it. Didn't think twice about it. And the dates on it is pretty wild. When he fought 3 times in 2020, and Ian Heinisch and Chimaev were 3 months apart.
Yeah, 2 tough fights to take in a row.
Yeah, and 3 months apart, you're not ready. Your chin's not ready. But this matchup, this also is like a tough one for him, and it's just very questionable, like you said. At least I don't know. I guess, but putting him up a striker in Muradov, like 17 of his 25 wins have been by KO TKO. He's on a 14 fight winning streak, 3-0 in the UFC. 2 KOs, 2 performance of the nights. Smart. He fights very smart. Takes his time. Doesn't rush anything.
High fight IQ.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like he'll hurt you, but he'll just stay like he won't like rush it, which is just like I don't know.
But he will smell blood in the water and go for the finish. But he goes for it in a smart way, in my opinion.
And I think he just outpoints him, wears on him. I love GM3, but yeah. Muradov all day in this one, probably by KO.
Yeah, like you said, he doesn't like when he has somebody hurt, he's not like swarming all over them, leaving himself open to be countered. He's fucking throwing punches. He's active, but he's being smart, and he's still being defensive. So I'll take him all day. He's just got to stop Mearshard's takedowns, but he's got 31 pro fights of his own. He can hold his own when it comes down to that. I think Mearshard's going to fail on most of his takedowns. His takedown attempts will get to the fence. That's about it. I'm curious. I want to see Muradov. I feel like it's just going to slide right out of there and just, outpoint him on the feet until he gets the knockout.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at the stats, right? I mean, the odds right now. He's a minus 430 favorite.
Lock of the night.
Lock him in, I guess. It's not even worth putting him in a parlay because still, like, how much is that gonna fucking get you?
The over-unders could get you.
Yeah, that's true. I do see. I don't know, but I could see like a third round KO. Because that's what
I'm saying. I don't even like
like this at all to bet.
I don't even like the over-unders.
Yeah, lock of the night. Also, stay away from it because there's no money in it. And we're gonna move right into the next one: Andre Petroski versus Michael Gilmore. Andre Petroski, 5-1 pro record, 7-1 amateur record. These two guys are both lost in Tough 29, the Ultimate Fighter reality show.
Semifinals.
No, I think Gilmore lost in his first fight in the house, and then Andre Petroski lost, I believe, in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
He lost his last Petroski lost his last time out in the LFA. We're talking pro fights by TKO. All 5 of his wins have been by finish, 3 by KO TKO. He's a former college wrestler and Art of War middleweight champ. He's taken on Michael Gilmore, 6-3 pro record, 8-2 amateur record. And he's going to be taking this fight on short notice. In his last 5 fights, he's competing at a bunch of different weights: 165, 170, 175 catch weights, and 185. He fights out of Marcio Lago with Chaos Williams and Joaquin Bucky. But that being said, his pro competition is very low quality. The best record being 3-2. I'm going with Petroski in this one. I don't know if I'm going to be betting on this one either, honestly. He's a minus 300.
Wow, that's a pretty big favorite. I'm going to take Petroski as well. I think that he's just going to grind out a unanimous decision by taking him down and just being active enough.
Yeah, we're going to agree on this one. We're both going Andre Petroski. We're going to move right into the next one: Kevin Lee versus Daniel Rodriguez. This one I've been waiting for.
So, yeah, we got D-Rod is coming off of a KO win over Preston Parsons, and that was just over a month ago. So he's making a very quick turnaround. I don't think he took any damage in that fight either. He was just fuck it. At first, Kevin Lee was supposed to take on Sean Brady in this fight, and D-Rod stepped up on short notice. But then again, he didn't come off of much damage, and much, if any, damage, obviously, because he's a month later. I'm going to take Kevin Lee in this fight. I know he lost his last one to Charles Oliveira, but he became champ, that fight was fairly competitive,
Yeah. Kevin Lee fights fucking dogs, man.
Yeah, he's fought he fights the best of the best.
He's 20.
Something he really used to be this guy could be the next big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
When he subbed Michael Chiesa, he beat Francisco Trinaldo. He came in hot, and then the Tony Ferguson loss, but he did beat up on Tony Ferguson for a little bit of it, and then he beat Edson Barboza, which is impressive too.
Dude, he beat him up. He beat Edson Barboza up bad.
Yeah. So I like his wrestling and his ground game, and D-Rod seems to be more of he's more of a striker, He's definitely more of a striker, and Kevin Lee is what?
He's a BJJ black belt under Eddie Bravo, though.
He is, but he is. But at the same time, Kevin Lee is a tri-star native fighting under Firas Zahabi. I know that doesn't mean as much as it used to,
right?
But still, I do like Kevin Lee in this fight. I'm gonna look up what the odds are. I'm curious. Kevin Lee's a minus 150 favorite. I think he's a solid minus 150 favorite. That's a fight I'll be betting on. I like Kevin Lee in this fight all around. He's an all around. I think he's more well-rounded than D-Rod, and I think that allows him to have more paths to victory.
All right. I'm agreeing with you on this one. It's just I think you're downgrading D-Rod a little bit, but
D-Rod's the fucking man. he fucking knocks people the fuck
All right,
out.
watch yourself, dude. All right.
I love Daniel Rodriguez. We share the same first name.
Yo, dude. No, I'm gonna make this a clip and I'm gonna send it at him on our Twitter. He's gonna be pissed. Kevin. All right, so I'm gonna get into this. Kevin.
That bad.
What? What'd you say? You disrespected the shit out of him right there.
Not really.
Kevin Lee shooting back up to welterweight or keeping his welterweight career, I guess now. He's staying here, I'm pretty sure.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't disrespect him. I said the level of competition that both men has fought, it's not even close. Kevin Lee has fought way better guys.
All right. Chill. You chill.
Nicholas Dalby, I'll give that to D-Rod. He did fight Nicholas Dalby.
And he won that one.
I'm pretty sure he lost.
He lost on the scoreboard, but he won that one.
It was a close fight.
That fight was not close. That was a robbery. But let me get in. Let me get in. What'd you say?
I don't even remember that fight, but either way, keep going.
Yeah, it was a decision. Kevin Lee at welterweight now. This is after he weighed in 2.5 pounds over in his last time out. In my opinion, I think Kevin Lee should have always fought at 170. He's got a 77-inch reach and was cutting way too much weight and was gassing. His gas tank wasn't good. He wins mostly by sub, but also he's got some heavy hands. He does slow, like I said, that was his biggest problem. But in his last 6 fights, he's been sub 4 times. Not a good look. But the guy only fights high-level competition. He's taken on Daniel Rodriguez, who's taken this fight on short notice. He's 4-1 in his last 5. Great boxer. He's got some BJJ. Averages 8 strikes per minute, plus 2.3 striking differential, 1 takedown, 55% accuracy, 83% takedown defense. He's been taken down 3 times in 7 UFC fights. That's going to be his key to victory. But I think Kevin Lee he's a more dominant wrestler of the two, and I think that he's gonna take this one.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely been working on his submission game too. It's just like he fought one of the best submission artists in UFC history, if not. Well, I won't say he's the best because Damian Maia is probably the best in UFC history. Fucking.
Submit. Oh, I think the UFC just released him. Did you see that? That's breaking news today.
If they did, that's a fucking shame because I mean I get it. He is like 42 years old, but like
I think he might be a little older even, but he fights
43.
43. Yeah, he's still got it.
He wants farewell fight against Donald Cerrone or Nate Diaz. I am not.
He probably would have beat Cerrone.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get the Nate Diaz fight.
No way in hell. Yeah, just retire at that point. But yeah, I think we're both agreeing on this one, right, Dan? Is that what we get to? We're both going Kevin Lee.
Yeah,
and I like Kevin Lee in this one. Kevin Lee you look at it, you see that he's 2-4 in his last 6 fights, and you're like, Jesus. But dude, Tony Ferguson, RDA, Edson Barboza, Charles Oliveira, Greg Gargales, like it's all Al Iaquinta. And before that,
and in the fight against Oliveira, like he was damn near even in strikes. He took him down 2 times.
He was getting the better of Oliveira in that fight until he got caught.
Yes, he was getting a lot of the better of Tony Ferguson.
But that's the thing. It was the gas tank, and then he would leave himself open and just give up, and he would get subbed. That's what happened. But dude, 170 is his home. He's got that reach. He's only 5'9", but he's got the reach to go along with it. He should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, we're both going Kevin Lee. We're going to move right into the next one. Ricky Tracios versus Brady Heinstanz. Ricky Tracios, 0-1 under the UFC umbrella. He fought Boston Salmons on the Contender Series. It was 4 years ago. It was a close fight. He was only 24. He's 28 now. He was actually scheduled to fight Adrian Yanez in 2020, but it was canceled from COVID. So pretty tough competition for his UFC debut. And then he joined Tough 29.
It was a tough championship.
What'd you say?
This is for the tough
Oh
135.
yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. This is for the tough championship right now for 135. You're right, Dan.
So
And
he did win those fights to get
he
here.
did. He won 2 fights at the house. He's going to be taking on 5-1 22-year-old Brady Heinstanz. Super early on, super young. He's got actually a decent amount of amateur fights. His first 4 pro opponents had 0-12 combined record. He's a firefighter and has some pretty good wrestling. Remind you of anyone?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Guy almost doubles his weight, but yeah.
Yeah. The kid has a bright future, but I think in this fight, I'm gonna go with Ricky Turcios.
Yeah, so am I. He just showed a little bit more, in my opinion, and has the experience advantage. But this is for the tough comeback season, so both guys are going to be throwing it all out there. Both of them did fight their way throughout the house,
Yep.
So the fight will be interesting, but I'm going to take Ricky Turcios in this fight tentatively. Both of these fights, this fight and the next one, are going to be tentative fights for myself.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna ride with Turcios for right now.
Yeah, the problem with these fights is that like you got to watch the whole fucking tough show,
Yeah.
You got the fuck. Who wants to watch that?
To be honest, I haven't watched much.
Dude, I've watched all the old stuff, but that stuff is gold. I haven't seen all like the newer stuff. I don't know about that, which is a shame because it was funny.
It did get bad towards the end.
It did. Yeah, it got like too like processed. It was like very weird and not genuine.
Yeah, and none of the fighters that came out were like the guys who won it weren't that great, like.
True. Yeah, because you can get in. There's like the contender series looking for a fight. There's like all this other stuff now. So it's like.
But this season, he pulled a lot of guys out of LFA and UFC affiliated places, where a lot of places where they get their prospects from. So, like, I like this season should bring these, like, fighters coming out of this season should actually be decent as time goes on.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so we're both agreeing on this one. We're both going Ricky Turcios. We're going to move right into the next one. Brian Battle.
More tentative, though.
More tentative. We're going to move right into the next one. Brian Battle versus Gilbert Urbina. Part of the Urbina family. I think he's got 2 other brothers that are also in MMA. But I'm going to start with Brian Battle. 5-1 pro record. He has an 8-2 amateur record with wins over Impa Kasaganai and Cody Brundage. His 1 pro loss is from Nicholas Martino. But like I watched that, he knocked that dude out basically. And when he hit the ground and when he took him down, he woke back up and he was able to catch him. But it was really like,
yeah, he caught him in that armbar.
Yeah, I caught him in the armbar after. But dude, he looked like he was asleep. He's taken on Gilbert Urbina, 6-1 record with only 1 loss from Sean Brady in the LFA back in 2018. He's filling in for the actual tough 2019 finalist, Tracios Gore, who I've just been seeing him all over like MMA Twitter and stuff. That guy, he would have won the whole thing for sure. But you got to look into him, Dan. He's sick. But yeah, he tore his meniscus.
Yeah.
He tore his meniscus. So we got Urbina. Urbina 6-1. He defeated Michael Gilmore, who's fighting early on in the quarterfinals before getting knocked out in the semifinals by Gore. This fight, I basically have it in my head as a pick'em. I don't know, but I'm going with Brian Battle with this one, but I think I'm going to be staying away from this.
Yeah, I think Brian Battle gets the KO. Honestly.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think he pulls off a knockout.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm kind of more confident in that a little bit then. I like that.
Yeah, it's a tough one though. Either way, like.
Yeah, but he's got wins over Impa Kasaganai.
Yeah, like that's impressive.
Cody Brundage was on the contender series, so that's something too. But
like Impa is, I like his future in the UFC.
Yeah,
like we've gone over this multiple times. I'm a fan
Yeah, same here. But we're both agreeing. We're both gonna go Brian Battle in this one, right, Dan? Nice. And we're gonna move right into the main event. Very excited for this one. Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. I always fuck up his last name.
Giga Chikadze, kickboxing expert, and then you got Edson Barboza, who's basically a Muay Thai kickboxing expert. This fight is going to be fireworks. Like, there's no way this fight could be bad, you know? This is like technical, like great striking at its finest.
Yeah.
I'm
so pumped.
Giga has his Giga kick, that left kick to the liver that he likes to throw. He finished Cub Swanson with that in his last fight. Had that win over Jamie Simmons at the end of 2020. I know Jamie Simmons isn't great competition, but I think he was scheduled to fight somebody else.
Yeah, it was. It was short notice.
Yeah, and he's taking on Edson Barboza right now, and he's no joke. Like, people who throw shade on, I mean, I feel like no true MMA fan throws any shade on Edson Barboza. He is a tough out for anybody to get. And I'm gonna honestly predict like a very razor thin decision in this fight. I see a split decision coming in this fight. The vibes just tell me that it's coming. Edson Barboza, when he goes to split decision a lot. Giga Chikadze has gone to split decision himself. He went there twice.
But he was on the better side of those.
2019, once in the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this guy, I get he's had the split decisions, but he's been undefeated in the UFC so far, and he's gotten wins. The win over Omar Morales definitely showed us something.
Yeah,
you know, like Omar Morales
he's good,
doing his thing too. You know,
I think he's 4-1 in the UFC.
That win over Cub Swanson really put him on the map.
Yeah.
Now this is a fight that's really like he is gonna be like 100% on the map if he could pull off the victory in this fight. And I'm gonna take him. I think it's gonna be a super close fight. I think this is a pick'em fight. You can go either way. I wouldn't be mad at either anybody saying that Barboza is going to win, because Barboza's got that high level experience and he's super technical himself. Giga's also super technical. This fight's going to be so fun to watch. This is easily the most exciting fight of the entire night. Like, there's no people's main event right here, because this is the people's main event. I'm going to take Giga, honestly, by a very close decision, but I think he edges him out and slightly outpoints him. It's going to be close, though, but I could see Barboza doing the exact same thing and edging out a decision over him. This fight's like 55-45 in my head. So
when you say close, you do not know how long, how many times I flip-flop doing this. This is anyone's game, but Giga Chikadze, 6-1 under the UFC umbrella, on a 6-fight winning streak, a plus 0.9 striking differential, 44% accuracy, kickboxer, wins mostly by KO, TKO, and most recently got 2 first-round TKOs. He lost his Contender Series fight when he was taken down 4 times, and then went on to win 2 very close split decisions where he was taken down 5 more times. That for sure is the biggest weakness in his game. But he's taken on Edson Barboza, who kind of has the same issue, you know?
Yeah.
He's 2-3 in his last 5, including 2 split decision losses. Edson Barboza, I'm talking about. Very close fights. Most recently moved back to, or not moved back, I think just moved down to featherweight for the first time ever in his career, and is on a 2-fight winning streak. He's looked pretty
bounced around a little, but apparently not.
Dude, I think this might be the first time. Yeah. he fought all those dogs at 155 for like that long ass period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he this is ever since 2020 he moved down to featherweight.
Yeah, wild, right? I thought the same thing. I thought he jumped around too. But dude, he looks like there. Have you seen pictures of him?
Yeah.
He's dieting down right now, dude. I can't believe he makes this weight. It's really unbelievable. But he's determined, man. Good for him. And he looks pretty sharp recently. His leg kicks are still deadly. He's still got those in his arsenal.
I think arguably best kicker in the UFC in general.
Dude,
Like kick,
probably
like kicks in the UFC. Like this guy's kicks are fucking phenomenal.
Unreal. And he is for sure, hands down, going to be the biggest test so far for Giga. And also, this will be Giga's first UFC fight where he's at a reach disadvantage. So that's something. And he's the first time that he's at a leg reach disadvantage, which is pretty crazy too. And also Giga's first 5-round fight. So there's a lot of question marks here. In MMA, not 5-round fight, and he's went to kickboxing 5 rounds. Curious to see how he holds up, particularly his legs after all those kicks in like the 3rd or 4th round. This fight, hardest to pick for me on the card, hands down. We got some tough ones just because we have a lot of small sample sizes, but we got sample sizes for these guys. And it's still the closest fight on the card. But I'm going to go with the UFC veteran Edson Barboza in this one.
Yeah. One thing I could see coming from Barboza in this fight is I could see Barboza, like maybe like he might lose 2 of the first 3 rounds and then decisively win rounds 4 and 5 and take the unanimous decision. That's a real possibility. I'm big on the over in this fight, though. If you don't want to bet on either fighter, I would bet on the over.
Oh, dude, I'm curious. Do you have the fight odds up? Whatever.
No, I don't have what.
I'm curious to see what that is. I bet it's 3.5 rounds.
I feel like it might be 4.5.
4.5.
Because both of these guys do go to decision a decent amount.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Barboza can knock you out at any point, but he does fight with technical ability, and like before his last fight where he got that knockout over Hurricane Shane Burgos, he
Crazy
had
knockout.
1, 2, 3 fights in a row that went to a decision, and then he had the
losses.
He had the loss to Justin Gaethje and body punch win over
Dan Hooker.
So that's been him recently. So
it's tough, man.
So tough, but I have nothing against you on taking Barboza. I kind of want Barboza to win.
Yeah.
In time, I love Giga. Like Giga's one of my favorite like up and coming prospect type guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We will see.
We will see, but
I see decision. Do you see decision?
I do. Now that you're saying it, I totally. Even if it's 4.5, if 4.5 rounds is like the underdog, is like a plus whatever, a plus 120, I would take that. I like that a lot.
Oh, so you would take the under?
No, I'm saying like I'm hoping that 4.5 rounds would be like the better one to take,
like a plus 150.
Yeah, like I would take the over, like for sure in that, because this is so competitive. They're just going to go back and forth. I don't see a finish here.
It'll be a technical war.
Yeah, exactly.
Some fans might not like it because they're not throwing their head down and just throwing punches at.
No, if you want to see that, Dan, go watch the Abdul Razak Al Hassan fight.
Yeah, we have that for you.
Yeah, we have that. It's in the undercard, and it's gonna suck. We're done here.
Guys are going to be methodical. They're going to set traps.
Yeah.
And this is going to be high-level striking at its finest, and I can't fucking wait.
And those leg kicks, I know those leg kicks are going to add up, and Giga's he's not going to be able to stand right. I can see it already.
The next day, maybe, but I think he gets it enough done to where he.
No, I'm talking about that night.
I think that he's able to withstand it and edge out a close decision victory. Either way, this fight's so close. Like you said, it's just like it's a pick 'em. It's just like
Yeah, it's a pick 'em.
It's nearly 50-50.
But my heart's in it a lot because I like Barboza, so it's like I'm really.
I had to take my heart out of it, like completely, and I slightly lean towards Giga, but like only the slightest bit. Like I am not underselling Barboza at all. I want everybody. I want that clearly known. I am not underselling Barboza. I know what Barboza is, and I know how skilled and how great he is. But I
just don't want another Daniel Rodriguez situation going on.
No, this is completely, dude. You know how much love I have. Come on, come on, bro. You know I love Edson Barboza.
I know. I'm busting balls. I'm busting.
I did. If you look back on the tape, I did not disrespect Daniel Rodriguez.
Dude, you're gonna watch it, like rewatch it, and you're gonna see how disrespectful you were.
If I rewatch it and feel like I was disrespectful towards him, I'll literally tweet the video and say, I am sorry to disrespect you. You do
I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
But I didn't. Yeah, I don't think I disrespected him, but I forgot what I said. So.
Oh, dude, you should have said the terrible stuff you were saying about him. All right, but we're done here. Well, it's been last week. You guys, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you guys like said like oh, this one's so even, this one's so close." You should have ate up last week. We killed it last week. Unreal.
And the week before.
This week is just gross. Like
9-4 last week, or what were we this week? 9-3.
9-3 last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So UFC 265 9-4. UFC the last UFC fight night 9-3.
Yeah.
Like,
come on. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear.
I'm. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Easy 2-1, 3-1 guy.
Now we're just like busting our fans' chops. They don't want that. But I gotta stop watching this.
Everybody,
I'm sorry, fans. I just been watching The Sopranos like a lot, and it's like just.